Buddy Webb, it's Midland, Texas, 3802 Fair Circle, May 3rd, 2017. Yesterday, I made a video and I sent an email to the Chief of Police of Midland, Texas. And I asked him a pretty simple question. Who are the secret police that were caught sneaking in my house, stealing evidence, and staging the crime scene of the murder attempt of my life when I was shot? They're seen in pictures. I sent video links, but I didn't include any pictures. Also copied, I sent it to the chief, but I copied the district attorney, Nodoff, and I copied Sheriff Gary Painter, copied Mayor Morales, City Councilman Sparks, and Lovenet, Robnet, Hotchkiss, all the city council members. I think even the city manager, Courtney Sharp. And then I went through and every reporter in Midland, Texas, because I've felt some censorship here, which shouldn't be, and so I wanted to get everybody involved, and I want to show you the evidence, and this is legit. You know, this is the real deal. The story is crazy, but I'm not. I got lots of evidence. My testimony isn't required. So slandering me does nothing. And so, anyways, I haven't got a reply. It's been over 24 hours, so I thought, well, I'll send some pictures. And I'll send the secret police pictures, and then that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a video of it. I'm going to send it. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. And that way, he's going to get them, and all them people are going to get them, and it's going to be pretty hard to deny. And so I'm going to show you the email I'm going to send, show you the pictures, and then we'll hit send, and that'll be it. Hold on. Okay, that's about him back in my email, and I enlarged the font today to make it a little easier for everybody to read, and I don't like reading to you, but I'm going to. This is the email from yesterday. It's dated yesterday. MPD, Accountability and Secret Police Identity. And this idea came from a newspaper article from the Midland Reporter Telegram, where the chief of police says we will hold our police officers accountable. And so I want to hold the chief of police accountable to his word that he will hold them accountable. And so I need him to identify the secret police, and I sent him the video called Midland, Texas Secret Police. It's got all the pictures. This one has me crawling out and so on. So anyway, here to get past it, here's the little short email that I sent today for the same group. Everybody's copied back on it. It says, Chief Police Price Robinson, I'm going to send you some of the proof pictures to assist you with your investigation to the identity of the secret police while I await your reply. The secret police pictures are attached and named P1 through P13. These were taken on 1/29/12, a few hours after I was shot in my home, and the police report shows that no police were here. I'm also attaching that, okay? Because I want this all out there, all the evidence. You will see from the Windows event log on my computer running the inside security camera that it was manually rebooted at 1/29/12, 3:15 a.m., and obviously to disable the camera that was attached to it. Okay, this attempt to cover up their crimes actually started my camera working, and we start seeing pictures a few minutes later. This intentional action shows this was a covert and illegal entry to cover up an attempted murder. Okay, and the event log does show manually initiated, so we know a person did it. We also know the timestamp, and we know at that time the police report says no police were in my home, and so somebody went out of their way, rebooted, and of course they were trying to disable the camera. And that shows their intent. The picture named Proof of Murder Attempt shows a medical record stating that the size of pellets removed from my foot were 2.5 times different than the size of pellets in my gun. This ballistic evidence proves that I wasn't shot with my gun without my testimony of burglar alarms going off when I shot, and other evidence. I was home and minding my own business when these criminals drove from their home to my home with a loaded gun to shoot me by surprise. That's a fact. I mean, the evidence shows that. Not Buddy saying, the evidence shows that. You also see that I was shot from 2 inches above ground level 2 weeks after reporting a suspected tunnel to the El Paso and Midland DEA, who did not look. You will find proof of this in the call records from my company's cell phone. Obviously, somebody in the DEA is involved, and possibly they are one of the secret police. That phone number is 432-209-6494, and those calls were made in January 2012. I don't have them. I don't have that phone as company's phone. I don't have them records, but a police officer can get them and verify that and go, this is right. He did call the DEA, and the DEA has some questions to answer at that point. Because 2 weeks later, my phone lines are cut and I'm shot inside my home, and it sure looks like maybe somebody in the DEA was involved. And then there's another video link I put yesterday called Human Trafficking Tunnel and all that. I'm going to move on. You will see from the nurse's notes that I had told Detective Rodriguez that proof was at my home. That proof was a now stolen voice recorder which had been recording the burglar alarms going off in my attic before I shot. You'll also see from police reports that Officer Chandler stated that she found this voice recorder and checked it in as evidence, but it's not in the evidence logs. So we know that Officer April Chandler lied. I show that often on my Facebook. I mean, that's all there is to it. I have the documents proving that. Officer Chandler is seen in my home on 12912 in the secret police pictures with her hand in a bag. But the police report shows that no police were in my home. Okay, it looks like she stole evidence to cover up this capital murder attempt. Sergeant Matt Davis or Matthew Davis checked in the other evidence that Chandler said she found, so maybe he was involved too. I don't know. She was a rookie cop, and he was a supervisor, and she also found my .22 rifle, my .22 handgun, and the voice recorder, and said she checked it in as evidence, and it looked like Matt Davis checked in the revolver and the rifle, and the voice recorder was stolen at that point. It disappeared. But the important thing is that they didn't realize the nurse had documented me saying it's proof, and it's at my house. And obviously what they did, they found out proof was at my house, so they come sneaking to my house to steal the proof. You will see from screenshots taken from the security video that I was crawling out at 10:42 p.m. on 12812, and the headlights from my car in the driveway were turned off as I'm crawling out. That is amazing. So watch that video called Email the Texas Rangers. I mean, that's hard proof. This was not done with the key fob, which blinks the lights. Somebody was sitting in my car waiting on this cold night. I had just been shot. This is more tangible proof of these crimes. The reason I was crawling out was because my phone lines had been cut before I was shot. April Chandler stated in her report that I had told her my battery had gone dead on my phone, which was a made-up lie. I had never said that. My cell phone had disappeared earlier this day, and my home phone was dead when I tried to use it after being shot. When I returned from the hospital, I found my cell phone behind my nightstand in one of the last secret pictures, 12812, 3:55 a.m., you can see Rosie Rodriguez with April Chandler standing next to her, and it looks like she's leaned over the nightstand. I believe she was replacing my phone that had been stolen before I was ambushed and shot. I'm going to show you that picture here in a minute where she's leaned over. And also I didn't put it in here, but 8:08 that night before I was shot, my inside security camera was terminated. It was shut down, stopped, and I didn't do it. I think it was all preparation. They cut my phone lines, which means disconnected my phone lines. They stole my cell phone, and they stopped that inside security camera, and then they shot me. And we'll get to maybe a possible why here in a minute. You will see that the first two secret police arrived at 1:29:12, 11:01 p.m. wearing tan uniforms. This is a security there is a security camera video of this. A subpoena of all police records show that they were not dispatched. At 11:22 p.m., they had the front cameras disabled on my home. I have no records of who entered my home after this covert act. The question has been asked if one of these was a late Sheriff Deputy Mike Naylor, who happened to be from Hobbs, New Mexico. I'm from Hobbs, New Mexico. Chad Simpson's from Hobbs, New Mexico. Sandra Simpson from Hobbs, New Mexico. And even the last district attorney, Klingman, she's from Hobbs, New Mexico. There are a lot of people from Hobbs, so there might be a Hobbs connection. When I returned from the hospital, I found my guest bathroom door was torn from the wall and pry marks on the inside door jamb. This is a door that I had tie-wired shut in an effort to compartmentalize my home and figure out where these criminals were coming in at. It appears that I had trapped a burglar without knowing it, and their friends decided to kill me instead of calling the police and admitting to their crimes, which would expose the underground facility and the tunnels and underground access. I attached a picture called Pry Marks Motive for Murder. Okay, and so that's a possible motive, and they might be sitting here trying to justify that in their little criminal sick minds as, he deserved to be shot because he was he trapped a burglar in his home during a home invasion, or whatever. I know that one thing my dad had said to me. almost anger when he is still alive, and I believe he knew what was going on. But he said, yeah, but you tied the door shut, and you had the safety off on your gun. That was a weird statement right there. And then also I know April Chandler wrote in the at the hospital that due to Buddy's paranoia, he caused himself to be shot. Almost like, oh, this was his fault because he trapped a burglar in his home during a home invasion. That's kind of how I'm seeing that. So I've got several different things where I think somehow these criminals in their sick lit of breaking into homes' minds have justified trying to murder the homeowner, because one of their criminals got caught in my home. That's what I believe happened. I also included a comparison picture of former Midland K-9 police officer and murderer Chad Simpson with one of the secret police caught sneaking into my home. I think it's him, but I'm waiting on your confirmation. A lot of people don't like when I call him a murderer, but I got that from the news. You do Google Chad Simpson murder suicide Midland, and you'll see it all over the place. Murder suicide, murder. Chad murdered his wife. That's what the news says, not Buddy. I have much more evidence, and I think the reason he murdered his wife is because he got caught in my home. I have much more evidence, and I hope that you get the chance to review the videos that I sent you yesterday. I want you to know that I'm a big supporter of law enforcement, and I understand that the bad cops give the good cops a bad name. They undermine public confidence in our justice system and even endanger their lives. We must ensure that we have transparency and accountability. Sincerely, Buddy Webb. And then a PS on the bottom. I made a video of sending you this email yesterday and copying the district attorney, the sheriff, the mayor, the city council, and every news report in Midland. It's been very popular with 1,300 views on Facebook and still counting. Everybody wants to know who the secret police are, but we also want to know if they're still sneaking into homes and covering up crimes. I think it might be important to review every case they've worked on now that we know their true level of integrity. We sure want to review any unattended deaths, and especially one with the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon. And this is the link to YouTube to the email to the Chief of Police, Bryce Robinson. Okay, and you're going to see I attached all these pictures here, and I already got them. They're in a certain folder, so I'll just run through that folder to show you. Me crawling out, lights on. Me crawling out, lights off. Okay, so somebody was sitting in the car, so we turned them lights off. That's all there is to that. That's 10:42. And this one's timestamp 1/28/12/10:42. Why did I crawl out? Because my phone lines were cut. They tried to kill me. That's all there is to it. Okay, on the video, and you see that, email Texas Rangers, ambushed in my home, several videos. I've got the security camera video, and you can see the first police car. It's a marked car. Somebody should know who that is. That shouldn't be a secret police. And this one is a white Crown Vic, which is a supervisor's car, is an unmarked police car. That's real obvious from the pictures. Time-stamped about a few minutes after I crawled out. Subpoenaed police records. Nobody knows who that. There wasn't dispatch. They just somehow happened to know I got shot in my home. Ain't that weird? Here's what they look like. That's where I was asking. They're in tan uniforms. Is one of them Mike Naylor? Look at the timestamp. Okay, 11:01. I had just survived a murder attempt. Okay, my camera's pointing this way, the way it's supposed to be at 23:22, and just a few seconds later, now it's pointing at the wall. The secret police disabled. It was one of the first things they did. I barely got to the hospital, and they already had the cameras on the front of my house disabled. This was a covert, illegal entry. Okay. This is my Windows event log from my computer. I also have the camera log, which confirms what this is, and it shows a user-initiated log off at 3:15 a.m. Okay. Remember, at 8:08, this camera was terminated. It was shut down. Okay, and I didn't do that. So somebody did that in preparation to kill me, is what I believe. And so it wasn't running. Okay, this camera wasn't running. But I think these secret police come in and go, look, oh, there's a camera. Let's reboot this computer and shut that camera down, because that camera's connected to this computer. And so user initiated. They had to go click on something to do it. And they should have shut it down, but instead they rebooted it, because they didn't want anybody to know what they were doing, right? I'm an IT guy. I went back to the Windows event log, go 3:15, somebody touched the mouse, okay? And the police report says nobody's here. A few minutes later, I start seeing pictures of secret police. Okay. Here is the police report, police incident report for 12912, and there is an entry on it. And it's called test only for PW, and then text PH. And I don't know what that is, other than I'm thinking maybe they put some kind of communications tap on me because I'm the crippled crime victim that they failed to murder, and so now we need to listen to his phone calls and try to counter being caught. That's a guess. I don't even know that. Okay, these are getting into the security camera pictures. I got them all time stamped here. Okay, and I'm going to run through them. Guy wearing a Midland K9 police jacket. Chad Sims is a Midland K9 police officer. Okay, here we go. This is where I build that collage. This guy's got glasses. I call him Glasses. Okay, and you can see he's moving stuff around right there. Actually, I think it's this bar right here. So here they are staging the crime scene. Okay. And this guy, he thinks this is funny. Buddy's in the hospital having the back of his foot cut off. We're sneaking in his house and nobody ever know. Ha, ha, ha. Look how he thinks that's funny. I don't think it's funny at all. Okay, this guy, these guys, and they're all secret police. I don't know who they are, I know when they were there. I know they were there, right? This is April Chandler. I just seen her in a newspaper article, so we identified her. She got her hand in the booty bag. The booty, it's like, it was your property, now it's my property. I'm going to steal this, And here, I believe, is Rosie Rodriguez. She's taking pictures, and it would be interesting to see them pictures right there. And, but there's April Chandler. Remember, nobody's in my house, but she's in my house with a booty bag. Okay, here she is. What are they looking at? See, behind this nightstand's where that cell phone was found. It makes you wonder, right? Okay, and so here she's leaned over. I think somehow that she had my cell phone and she was putting it back. And when he gets out of the hospital, we'll just say it was back there all the time. Ha 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 ha. Never know he's in his house. Right. And that one, you look at it, you compare the pictures, it's Rosie. So Rosie and April identified. All the rest, we don't know who they are. Okay, this right here. This is from the medical record. Shows the size of the pellets removed from my foot. Okay, right up here. Size 5, round size 5. Okay, and this is a shell from my gun. Okay, so we're two and a half sizes different. We also know the entrance and the exit wound was 2 inches above ground, so we know the gun was level 2 inches above ground, and we also know that I had reported a suspected tunnel to the DA 2 weeks earlier. So you can do the math there, and as I told lots of people that, you walk outside and you see snow on the ground. You don't need to know that it snowed, right? Or it come from the sky. You already know it come from the sky. And so when you're shot from the ground 2 weeks after reporting a suspected tunnel, and you wasn't shot with your own gun, you shot by a person under your home. That's a fact. Okay. And so I think there's a couple more. I don't know why that stopped. The pry marks. Okay, these are pry marks on the top of the guest bathroom door. And this is the nursing notes at 11:27. I had just been shot. And I said I was tie wiring the doors to keep them out. Okay, the nurse documented me saying that. And then I found pry marks inside door and the hinge torn off the bottom of this door. And then the police, whether the secret police or the real police, all they had to do was untie the wire on the other side of the door, cut the wire. But you don't have to tear that door up. Somebody got locked in this room and I didn't know it. And so I think maybe that was their motive for murder. It's possible. I mean, there's other possible motives for murder, but there's one. Voice recorder evidence. More nursing notes. And I know they never expected the nurse to be documenting what I'm saying. It was Kira Cresswell, I think her name. And I'm telling them there's a white voice recorder in case something happens to me, saying what they're doing in my house. I have proof. Just go look. There's proof. Okay. And then it documents that Rodriguez is in the room at the same minute that I said proof was at my house. So we know Rodriguez found out at the hospital proof was at my house. Chandler comes back and says that she found the single-shot revolver, the voice recorder, and the rifle, and logged into MPD as evidence, but it's not there in evidence. Okay, so it's been stolen. It's gone. Which I talked about that a minute ago, and then I think the last one here was. this comparison picture here, MPD chief, Midland officer involved in murder-suicide. So when I call him the murderer, one of them, in a murder-suicide, one person's the murderer, one person's the victim. And he wasn't the victim, okay? So he's the murderer, right? And this guy's the murderer right here, okay? We know that. He's the murderer. She was the victim, okay? But this is secret police in my house. So I'm looking, kind of face, and I think it's him. Midland K9 police jacket here, timestamp, no police in my house. I said, and here it says Chad Simpson. So that's what we're wanting the chief of police to get back with us, and it's as he says, it's for accountability. It's only going to make Midland safer, and this has got to be nipped in the bud. And I'm really concerned that these secret police gangs are going to start popping up across the nation, and and the press will start covering it, and that can't happen. This is America. This is not Nazi Germany, and them are not SS troops. The evidence is clear. This was pre-planned, premeditated, capital attempted murder that crippled me for life. I'm asking you, Chief of Police, please identify them and let's finally stop these crimes. Thank you. Bye.